Yeah, dear student, welcome back to the revision class of chapter 6 staffing, and today we are going to discuss a very important topic that is called staffing process. Okay? So staffing is the third function of management. First was planning, organizing and staffing. So I will give you brief introduction. Planning means to plan the business. Organizing means to arrange the resources. How you have, whatever planning you have done is to now it's a time to organize. Clear? And after organizing, the staffing comes. Staffing comes means you have to recruit the adequate person to do that job. That process is called staffing process. So it's a very important process, staffing process. And you know why this process arises, staffing. Why we need this process? We need this process if you are starting a new business, or if you are in existing ones, you are increasing. You are making extension to your existing business. For that purpose, staffing requires, and it may also arise due to the retirement of any staff, retire or transfer or promoted, or anybody left or died. In that case, also staffing is required. Okay, the best thing is that, or the hardest task is to arrange the right person for the right job. As you have heard the phrase that there is two-thirds of the earth is covered with the water, but drinkable water is very less. The same condition is applying over here. So water everywhere, but drinkable water is very less. Clear? As you heard the news that earth is overpopulated, but still selecting the right person for the right job is a very tedious task. Clear? Yes, even in a situation where you will see that for a single vacancy, yeah, you will see several type of applications are there. But to sort out the right person is a very difficult task. Last year or 2 years back, when there was a vacancy of teachers in Rajasthan, there were 6,000 job and 18 lakh for the applicant. Now it's very difficult to find out the right person, because for every one seat there are 300 applications. So you are having a very wider choice. Clear? And besides selecting a person, several parameters are there for which a person is to be considered. For example, in BPO industry, business process outsourcing. I told you this every last year also. With this business process, whenever you call the call center of any or a help center of any company or product, you will find that the phone is attended by BPO industry. That is called business process outsourcing. Now, for that purpose, English is required, Hindi or required. You may be very good at Hindi or English, but sometime your diction adaptation is to be looked, or it has to be improved. Your pronunciation, your way of speaking English in India and speaking English in Britain and for America is totally different. Okay? So the first step arises is estimating the manpower requirements. Okay? This is the very important topic. Estimate means to find out how many persons are required and for which type of post. So for that purpose, you are supposed to do the two things. Okay? What are those two things? I will tell you. Those two things is workload analysis, and workforce. Now what is workload? How much work you are required to put on any burden. Clear? Because there shall not be anything where some people are overburdened while some are less burdened and some are having no work. Okay? So for that purpose, proper staffing is required. So there are three terms arises here, that is overstaff, understaff and optimal staff. So you shall always be in a position of optimal staff. Why? Because the adequate number of staff is very necessary. If you are, that is why it is said that understaffing is bad, but overstaffing is very bad. Okay, if there is an optimal staff, this means your work and load analysis is properly done. Okay? But if you are understaffing, then workload analysis will be improper. And if you are overstaffed, then it would be very difficult. Okay? That is why the situation of optimal staff is very necessary. That is why in management it is said understaffing is bad, but overstaffing is very bad. Because overstaffing makes the employee lethargic. They won't allow even the efficient person to do the work. So that is why your firm should be optimally staffed, neither under staffed nor over staffed. If you are optimally staffed, then there should be proper workload analysis and every workforce will get the adequate amount of job. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now second term is recruitment. Clear? After estimating the requirement of the person, we will see how to recruit those person. So this is the process. This is the process of after estimating the requirement, you have to see the recruit. Now, for example, you are in need of 100 labor. Now, from where you are going to adopt this 100 labor? So it's a recruitment is a process of selecting those prospective employees. You will see in army actually recruitment is a military word. That is why you will see they will organize a rally or they will go to any village or area. So where they can find suitable number of sepoys. It's sepoy. Now actually the real word is sepoys. Okay? Now it is adopted and it is called sipahi. So they go to organize a rally, village or area where they can find adequate number of employees. So recruitment is the way to find out the ways for the determining the potential employees, sources of potential candidate. So there are different forms of avenues are available. It's not necessary that you always go to any village. You can also give an advertisement. Okay? You can give advertisement in the leading newspaper and therefore you can do the recruitment. Now, after recruitment, the process comes is selection. So out of the very bigger pool of the recruitment, you have to finally select some person. Out of 100, you are supposed to select 10 or even lesser 3, whatever is your requirement. So selection is the process in which we have to finally select the employee. Clear? And it also ensures that organization will get the best person. Okay? The basic purpose of selection out of the recruitment is that organization will get the best person and that person will be self-esteemed. Self-esteem means fit for that job. Okay? That is why you will see in army and defense services there is a psychological test because these posts provide huge power and they will not cause danger or peril to the society. That is why even selecting a various parameters on which a person has been considered. Clear? So after conducting the test, rigorous test, selection and every other thing, a person is got selected, then he will be given a contract of employment. Clear? In which a final offer letter is given to the person. So when the person is selected, afterwards a placement and orientation is required. Clear? Placement means you have to organize a placement of that person as well as orientate. You have to introduce about your company. You have to introduce about your company. Okay, what your company is and how you are supposed to do the work. So that thing is called placement and orientation. Afterward, training and development. If you are a marketing person, then you are in need of product training. Okay. If you are a marketing person, then you need a product training. In insurance, product training is required. So there are several factors. Even in army, defense, you will see 3 years, 4 years, the rigorous training is requirement, and that will mentally develop you to face the situation. Okay. So training and development is very necessary. Afterwards, performance appraisal. A final selection is done. Final tests are conducted that a person has been well trained and fit for to be deployment. So for that purpose, final test is done and performance appraisal is done. Okay. Afterwards, promotion and career planning. Now after final test, where you are going to be promoted or to be deployed. career planning is done. So what will be your next post where you have to be promoted or deployed? And you will see that IAS officer will get a 2 years training at Mussoorie. Afterward, it is decided that there they will be placed. Now the final thing for which everybody does the work, that is called compensation. Now compensation, we have to design for three types of compensation. First is pay for person, then pay for post, and pay for performance. Okay. Though it is not given in your book, still I am telling you, this is a part of HRM, human resource. What is called human resource management. This is a new term. Whenever if you go for MBA, there is a one separate branch that is called HRM, human resource management. Now pay for person means whenever you want to hire a person at any cost, then you have to pay a huge amount. Okay? When a person is dying for the post, then money becomes immaterial. And pay for performance. If you perform well, you will get good quality. The same thing has been taught by the Taylor differential piece weight system. So this is the whole staffing process. I hope that this thing will help you. This is very important. That is why I am giving you the revision. Now after this we will study the sources of recruitment. So there are basically two wide sources. First is internal and second is external. So what is internal? First is transfer. Wherever at any place there are excess employee, at some places anybody has left, then you can transfer a person. Promote. Promotion. If any vacancy arises and person is promoted, then the person will get filled at junior level. Okay, this is the way of doing internal sources. Okay. So again, these are the two ways of internal recruitment. Merits. It's a easy process. Clear? Employee motivation is done. Clear? Employees feel honored that they are being promoted. Clear? These are the very thing. It has also way of shifting the employees. Shifting the employees from one place to another. So there are some merits, some demerits also. Okay. What are the demerits or limitation? If you are not going to bring the fresh person in your organization, there will not be any fresh thought. The whole process will go on. There will be no infusion of fresh blood in the management process, thinking process. So at every place, if you are always going to recruit internally, that will be the problem. So infusion of the new blood, new thought, it is very necessary to go for external requirement. Okay? Sometimes employees may become lethargic also because they know that nobody is coming from outsider. A new enterprise shall not use the internal sources of recruitment. The spirit of competition may get hampered. Okay? Now we study about the external recruitment. First is direct recruitment, casual collar, advertisement, employment exchange, placement agencies, and recommendation of employees. Clear? So what are the external sources of recruitment? Direct, when you are to directly going to call a person, that thing is called external, direct recruitment. Under this, a notice is placed on the board outside of the factory gate, and you can call a person. Casual caller means many organizations keep the database of recruit of the previously called or previous application. So for that purpose, you can call the person from that. Advertisement, giving a notice in a leading newspaper. You can, by advertisement, you can call a huge pool of employees. Employment exchange. Now this is an obsolete process. Campus interview means you can go to any business school or institute from where you can engineering colleges, you can appoint the person. Placement agency are now doing very good role, like Naukri.com, Monster.com. These agencies are providing a database of potential employees. Recommendation of employees is also a very good source of recruitment. So these are the few external sources of recruitment. What are the merits? In merits you will get a wider choice, fresh talents, fresh ideas, competing spirit, everything. Okay? Limitation also, sometimes if a wrong person will come, that will seriously sabotage the organization. Okay? So these are the ways. Afterwards, when these process is filled, a person is finally selected. So this is the staffing process. This is the important topic. That is why I am giving you the revision of this topic. Thank you.